If you're a parent, teacher, or school leader, and you're sick and tired of the frustration, anger, and unfair treatment of children at high risk in our public schools, then perhaps it's time for all of us to do something about it. In this podcast, Dr. Almitra Berry brings you tips, tools, strategies, and tactics to build successful solutions while touching, moving, and inspiring all of us to transform our schools so that every child thrives. Here's your host, Dr. Berry.
Anything that's human is mentionable, and anything that is mentionable can be more manageable. Those wise words come from none other than Mr. Rogers. Yes, the cardigan-wearing, shoe-changing legend who understood that feelings, even the tough ones, are part of what makes us beautifully human. Welcome back, Equity Warriors. I'm Almitra Berry, and this is the Educational Equity Emancipation Podcast, your safe space for real talk, radical hope, and a sprinkle of sparkle in the world of education. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, but for so many of us, every month feels like a high wire act over a pit of stress. So it's time for a safety net, and it starts with us. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mental Health Awareness Month in schools? Isn't every month Mental Health Awareness Month these days? Well, you're not wrong. But today, let's put down our red pens, pick up our imaginary capes, and talk about how we can be superheroes for student and educator well-being. No spandex required. And stick with me, because before the end of the episode, I'll be sharing four practical strategies you can use right away to support mental health in your school community. Thanks so much for tuning in. And whether you're listening on your commute, grading a mountain of essays, or hiding in the supply closet for a well-deserved breather, and in a huge heartfelt shout out to our newest Patreon supporters. Your support keeps this community thriving. And if you haven't joined our circle of changemakers yet, hop on over to patreon.com/3E podcast and let's make some magic together. Ready? Let's dive in. Getting real. Right now, in classrooms across the United States, children are carrying invisible backpacks filled with anxiety, stress, and sometimes even despair. And you know what? It's not just in the United States. Let me back that up. In classrooms around the world, children are carrying invisible backpacks that are filled with anxiety, stress, and sometimes even despair. And our educators are lugging around their own invisible suitcases, overstuffed with burnout, compassion fatigue, and the pressure to be everything to everyone. But imagine this, a school where every child feels truly seen, where every educator and administrator feels genuinely supported, and where mental health isn't just a poster on the wall, but a living, breathing part of the school day. Well, why isn't that the reality everywhere? How many more missed assignments, outbursts, or tearful breakdowns in the faculty lounge will it take before we say enough is enough? Here's what's happening. Schools have become the front line for mental health support, whether you plan for it or not. Our children walk through the doors with their whole selves, their hopes, their fears, their cultural backgrounds, and yes, sometimes their trauma. And our educators, administrators, they're right there, bringing their own stories and struggles into the classroom. We talk a lot about social emotional learning, SEL. Now, it's not just a buzzword. It truly is a lifeline. So when we teach students to name their feelings, to regulate their emotions, and build real connections, we're not just preparing them for tests. We are preparing them for the greatest test there is, and that is life. But think about a classroom where children start the day with a feelings check-in, or where a particularly challenging math lesson turns. Now, math is my personally traumatizing subject. So, I love my math teachers out there, but this is just me. But a challenging math lesson turns into a moment of teamwork and empathy. That, my friends, is equity and SEL in action. But keep in mind, don't forget, like everything else in our classrooms, mental health isn't a one-size-fits-all. Culture shapes how we talk about, how we understand, and even how we seek help, if we seek help for mental health challenges. And if we're not paying attention to that, to the impact of culture, we are missing the mark for so many of our children and their families. And then there's you, our educators, our everyday heroes. The truth, too many of you I know are running on empty. Teacher burnout is real. And if we don't address it, we talk to school boards and administrators for a second. Teacher burnout is real. And if we don't address it, we risk losing the very people our children need the most. Did you know that burnout among teachers is not only widespread, but increasing? In 2025, so far this year, 44% of American K-12 teachers reported feeling burned out often or always. That is the highest rate of any industry in the United States. That is higher than the rate for health professionals. That's high. That's almost half. And that's the ones who report often or always. But why should you care? I'll tell you why. Because mental health is equity. And when we get it right, everyone wins, especially though our most vulnerable students, our LGBTQ plus students, our multilingual learners, our children of color, our children in foster care. These are the ones who need this support the most. Now, strategies, right? Because we have to be practical. What can you do? I'm going to give you 4 things you can start doing right now. No superhero cape or spandex required. Strategy number 1, expand access to mental health services. Advocate, speak out for programs like the School-Based Mental Health Services Grant Program. Grants like these help schools hire more licensed therapists and counselors. That improves the student to provider ratio, right? And helps ensure culturally competent care for every child, but especially those in high need communities. So push your district to apply for these funds or partner with local agencies to bring more professionals in your schools. That's 1. Strategy number 2, integrate mental health education. You can push for curricula that normalizes conversations about mental health, reduce stigma, and teach emotional regulation through SEL. Use evidence-based programs to help students and staff develop self-awareness, resilience, and relationship skills. Make mental health a regular topic in your classrooms instead of a one-off assembly once or twice a year. Some time ago, I did an episode with the CEO and chief psychologist for an app called Align. I'll make a note. Down in the notes, you'll see the episode number, a link to that episode if you're looking for something that's really easy to implement. And I get nothing from that recommendation, but I truly believe in that app and the way it works for children especially, but for teachers as well. Strategy number 3, organize an awareness event. Host school-wide events during Mental Health Awareness Month or anytime. Launch peer-led initiatives that foster open dialogue about mental health challenges. These type of events where you can have guest speakers, wellness fairs, enlist your PTA to help with that. Even simple activities, something that goes year round like a Wellness Wednesday, where students and staff can share some self-care tips. That's a big help. 4th and final strategy is to collaborate with your community partners. I'm big on collaborating with communities. So look out there. Who's out there around your neighborhood, your school? Start to build partnerships with local mental health organizations that provide wraparound services. Some of that may include family support and crisis intervention. Community partners can offer expertise, resources, and extended services that you and the schools by yourselves cannot provide. Think about after-hours counseling, group therapy, or family workshops. Advocating for measures like these, taking those steps will help those children most at risk of falling through the cracks by making sure that schools are equipped to support every child. Equity warriors, now more than ever, our public schools need courageous educators who are willing to stand up for the mental health and well-being of every learner, again, especially the most marginalized students, as well as your peer faculty, your colleagues. And in a climate where anti-equity voices are growing louder, your advocacy matters. So push your school and district to expand access to mental health services. Integrate mental health education into every classroom and foster partnerships that bring real support to students and families. Organize awareness events that celebrate diversity and create safe spaces for multilingual learners, LGBTQ plus youth, and students in foster care. Remember, every little action chips away at systems of inequity. Your voice, your classroom, and your courage can make the difference. Don't let those who seek to silence or erase our most vulnerable children succeed. Stand firm, speak out, and keep building the schools our students deserve. And then join me again next episode. As always, if you've got a question, a topic you'd like covered, or a special request, you can text it to me. Look down in the notes for the link. And remember, don't worry about things you cannot change. Change the things you can no longer accept. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the 3E Podcast. You know, every time you tune in, you're joining a powerful movement to reshape education. So now let's take that impact to the next level. Here's how you can make a difference. First, if you haven't already done so, smash that subscribe button. It's free, it's easy, and it matters more than you know. Second, if today's discussion resonated with you, share it. Don't keep the good stuff to yourself. Spread the word to your friends, your family, your colleagues, anyone who cares about education. And third, now this is the big one, consider becoming a supporter of the 3E Podcast. Your small monthly contribution, it is the catalyst for our mission. With your support, we can amplify these crucial conversations. We can reach more educators around the world and produce more of the content you love. Together, we're not just talking about change, we are making it happen. So here's what I'm asking. Head over to Buzzsprout and subscribe to the Educational Equity Emancipation Podcast. Every download there, and only downloads there, directly support our work. Don't just be a listener, be a change maker, be an equity warrior. You have the power to change the things we can no longer accept. Join our community, support the 3E Podcast today. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.